أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البلد الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم بخوف. Blessed is the man that worketh not in the counsel of the heathen, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in this Lord I see I did it sunrise and sundown. Him I go there like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth fat fruit in his season. Him leave never I go wither, and whatsoever him doeth shall prosper. Yea! The heathen them now they saw them there like a chaff, which the wind driveth away. Therefore the heathen them never go turn upon the judgment of the sinner man them in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord God Jah loveth the way of the righteous and the way of the sinner man them. Always and always I go perish. Let the people of the Most High God say Jah. Members say where 2 centuries meted in the name of the Most High Jah. Are there so Jah there? If Jah never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain. Same way if Jah never watch upon your house, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is safe. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High Jah shall therein abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Let the people of the Most High God say, Jah! When they said, oh, let's go into the house of the Lord. How I man ire, how I man feel good, and I give thanks. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power, and my name Blakk RASTA. In every traditional African home there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire there is something sumptuous cooking. And the interesting thing is that these ingredients that get into the black pot to be subjected to some amount of heating are of different colors, shapes and sizes, and even aromas and smells. Yet they put aside all these numerous differences so that they could be subjected to some amount of sacrifice. Now the food that they make does not benefit them. The food rather benefits us as a people. So selfless. In the same vein, yes, the black pot represents the continent of Africa, same way the ingredients represent us as a people. Yes, we are people of different shapes and sizes, in different skin colors, yet we are one people right here on the continent of Africa. We need to put aside all our differences so we can come together, be subjected to some amount of sacrifice so that the next generation and even this generation can benefit from our works. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. We must be a tree planting generation. We've planted pepper, tomato, and onion for far too long. Do not let us be selfish. We only plant what we want to be here and see grow so we can harvest, eat, die, and go. No, let us plant trees. We know that we will not live long enough to sit under the shade of the tree. But people coming in the next generation will be able to deal with this. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. And of course, we are live on Pan-African TV. Also live on Loud Silence TV. We are super live on Loud Silence TV. And of course, we are on Ghana Web TV. And then Black Empire TV, our own TV. Pick up our numbers on the screen and talk to us. We are ready to do business with you. We will make sure your business prospers. Yes? Do business with us. And as you do business with us, you are also supporting this show to reach the people. Our aim is to rewire the minds of our people. The biggest problem of Africa is not a problem of schools and hospitals and roads. It's a problem of the mindset. If the mindset is right, every other thing would fall in place. That is why we are dealing with the mindset. And when we speak truth to power, remember that the truth is very bitter. But if medicine must heal, it must be bitter. My grandfather told me, any medicine that is supposed to be called medicine must be bitter. If medicine is not bitter, it ceases to be medicine. It is called a soft drink or alewa. This is the black pot. The truth is bitter. Many people don't like the truth, but you be a friend of the truth. Come stand with us. In some areas, we are told that the truth is an orphan. Be the father of the truth. Come together. Let us speak truth to power. It's only by critiquing ourselves that we will be able to reach there. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunum, where we speak truth to power. And of course, the very first story we are looking at today rolls on your screen. What does it say? It says Rolling Stone magazine rolls in Africa. For some time now, Africa has not been rolled in. What has happened? What is happening right now? Africa has not been part of the agenda of the Rolling Stone. From 2008, when they released the greatest musicians of all time, 100 of them. Now, this is Rolling Stone, and what is Rolling Stone saying? Rolling Stone has been doing this from 2008, when the first list of the 100 greatest musicians of all time, the greatest singers of all time, came out. There's a new headline. What does the headline say? And it's coming from Rolling Stone. It says, Voices of the Ages. The 200 greatest singers of all time, from Sinatra to SZA, from R&B to salsa and to rock. Interesting. 200. From 100, it's now gone all the way to 200. What has changed? Who has been added? And this one was published on the first day of January 2023. So it's fresh. What does the story say? Watch it. And we're going to be careful. Aretha Franklin is on top of the list. She's number one. Aretha Franklin described her mission as a singer like this. Me, with my hand outstretched, hoping someone will take it. That kind of deep, empathetic bond between artist and listener is the most elemental connection in music. And you can think of our list of the 200 greatest singers of all time as a celebration of that bond. There are the vocalists that have shaped... Interesting. And I like that part. I need you to listen attentively to it. He says what? These are the vocalists that have shaped history and defined our lives. Listen. These are the vocalists who have shaped history and defined our lives, from smooth operators to raw shouters, from gospel to punk, from Sinatra to Selena to SZA. When Rolling Stone first published its list of the 100 greatest singers in 2008, we used an elaborate voting process that included input from well-known musicians. The inputs from well-known musicians. You heard that? Now watch this. The results skewed towards classic rock and singers from the 60s and 70s. This new list was compiled by our staff and key contributors, and it encompasses 100 years of pop music as an ongoing global conversation where iconic Indian playback singer Lata Mangeshkar lands between Amy Winehouse and Johnny Cash, and salsa queen Celia Cruz is up there in the rankings with Prince and Marvin Gaye. Come, Marvin Gaye. You might notice that, say, there isn't any opera on our list. That's because our purview is pop music writ large, meaning that almost all the artists on this list had significant careers as crossover stars, making popular music for the masses. Interesting. Now, the next thing I'm going to look at is going to be most interesting. And I need you to open your ears and listen with rapt attention. Next page. Check out this. Check out this. It says what? In all cases, what mattered most to us was originality. That's one. Number two, influence and depth of an artist's catalog and the breadth of their musical legacy. So it doesn't matter if you have the voice of an angel. Just as it is said there, a voice can be gorgeous like Mariah Carey's, rugged like Toots Hibbert's, underestimated like Willie Nelson's, slippery and sumptuous like D'Angelo's, or brazen like Bob Dylan. But in the end, the singers behind it are here for one reason. They can remake the world just by opening their mouths. This is interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. Very interesting. Now let's look at those who have made this list. Let us look at those who have made this list. Look at number one, Aretha Franklin. Number two, Whitney Houston. You can't doubt that these were great musicians in their days, and even up till when we listen to their music is ever greener. Mariah Carey makes the list. Oh, my very good friend Charles is also there. Beyonce, the sweet Beyonce, is also there. Otis Redding, Al Green, oh, Steve Wonder, they are all in there. So it doesn't matter whether you are alive or you have transited elsewhere. If your music made some great strides whilst you were alive, you would make the list. Look at Marvin Gaye in there. John Lennon is in there. Little Richard is there. Freddie Mercury is there. Prince is in there. Elvis Presley is there. Celia Cruz, who was mentioned earlier, is there. Frank Sinatra. Oh gosh. So many different people are in there, but you won't hear names like Akurgu Bundunduru. All of them will have white people's names. They have names that do not really resonate Black Africa until you come to this corner. And this is my favorite corner. You know why I say my favorite corner, don't you? Africans invented music. Yet when it comes to where it matters most, Africa is most of the time left behind, even in music. Tell me one note of music that was not created by African people. But it's interesting. The plot is getting thicker. Watch this. Now, when you go to number 188, there is an African giant. Oh, gosh. The bare-chested, face painted, waist gyrating. Yes, waist gyrating. Fela Anikulapo Kuti. And what does Rolling Stone say about him? Fela Kuti's iconic songs of the 1970s and 80s are sprawling orchestral instrumentals, an innovative swell of African high life, American soul, and jazz. Through his music, he shared an anti-colonialist, pan-African vision and challenged Nigeria's corrupt military. Not only Nigeria, but the whole of Africa. Fela's voice was in every corner, resonating change. Interestingly, there was a woman who used to dance for Fela. You see the women at the back. One of them, yes, I think the one on the far left with two hands raised up, later became the mother of another singer who called Fela his uncle. And he is right here making the list. Oh God. Burna Boy. Burna Boy. So we have two continental Africans in there, both from Nigeria. Oh, Nigeria is making us proud. Watch this. Now, 197 is Burna Boy, a Nigerian cultural giant. Burna Boy is the ambassador of Afrobeats as a global movement that can feel equally at home, climbing the European charts and maintaining a subtle emotional connection with past African genres like highlife. Burna's voice is sweet like caramel, but it can also sour on slickly produced tracks like his recent mega hit, Last, oh gosh, or the 2019 game, Anybody, amped up by deep bass and insanely sophisticated polyrhythms. His vocal lines find inspiration in everything from hip-hop and R&B to hooky pop and dancehall. The world is his playground. Oh my God. Did you hear that? The world is this guy's playground. And just like Fela, he would also come on stage bare-chested. You cannot be showing your stomach like this if you have my kind of stomach. If your belly is a pot, you cannot come on stage showing that unless you are Jacob Kilamila. He is a powerful performer. And from Jamaica, where he mesmerized the people. Despite audio problems, all that, he shook the whole stadium right down to the foundations. And the whole world of music is proud of how Burna Boy has been able to move through reggae, dancehall, high life, pop, all the way into Afrobeat. He calls his music Afrofusion. Such a wonderful gem. Burna Boy has made the list. And I'm most excited. Come, follow me, come! But some very iconic voice is missing here. Mariah Carey is there, right? Who is missing in this list? Oh, how? We all know the Canadian singer. Her name is Celine Dion. Her voice mesmerizes so many people. We all remember the controversies around her. Oh, how she lost weight so drastically. But her voice never lost weight. The luster and the shine, the power and the energy. Celine Dion can sing to raise the dead. Celine Dion is out of that list, thrown away. And remember what they said. They said originality, depth of catalog, and at the same time, the impact your music has on the world. Celine Dion, missing as Fela Kuti. Burna Boy make Rolling Stone magazine's world's best 200 singers of all time. Come on! Popular American music-focused magazine, Rolling Stone has included Grammy award-winning Nigerian Afrobeat artist Damini Ebonolua Ogulu, better known as Burna Boy, and late Afrobeat legend Fela Anikulapo Kuti on its list of 200 greatest singers of all time. The list, which was released recently to honor the best vocalists in pop music, is an updated version of the magazine's 2008 list of 100 greatest singers of all time. And Celine Dion is out of it. The list was topped by late American singer and songwriter Aretha Franklin, who occupied the #1 position, whilst Nigerian music stars Fela Kuti and Burna Boy were listed at number 188 and 197 respectively. According to the magazine, the singers were judged based on 1, originality, 2, influence, 3, catalog depth, and the breadth of their legacy. Dash! So that's what it is. Originality, impact, and of course, much more. I want to say congratulations to my very good brethren. Oh my God. Boy, continue. This December, he was overbooked. He had to cancel a number of left, right, and center, energetic and powerful. Every time he comes on stage, he's so irate. In Jamaica, we say, Ima irate. You know, he's so happy, running around, left, right, and center. Burna Boy. Rolling Stone magazine says that the world is your playground. Play with it, playboy. This is the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushodomo, where we speak truth to power. Next thing we're looking at today. And remember, to be able to make it to the Rolling Stones magazine and all those things, you cannot be running around doing karaoke. You cannot be miming. No, you have to play live. If the music is not live, then it's dead. Arrogant National Service boss, disciplined and disciplined in quotes. Who is this arrogant guy? That's the guy. He has a young daughter who is a medical doctor, and he chased another nurse to the hospital where his daughter was supposed to be working, and insulted right from the head all the way down to the toe the nurse for allegedly disrespecting his daughter. In fact, he used unprintable words. And then he came back and apologized after everything went viral. In fact, he boasted that he was close to the corridors of power and that he was the boss of the National Service Secretariat, Ashanti, and that he would make sure that the offending nurse would be sacked. In fact, he didn't behave like a father. He didn't behave like a man with brains. But somebody advised him, and he came back and apologized. And now it looks like there is a verdict. Watch this. Ashanti Regional NSS boss to work under supervision after suspension. Come. Interesting. What does it say? The National Service Scheme has revealed they have finalized investigations against the Ashanti Regional Director of the National Service Secretariat, NSS, Alex Opoku-Mensah, who verbally assaulted a nurse at Manshia Government Hospital. In a letter dated December 2022, the Committee of Inquiry noted that Alex Opoku-Mensah has been suspended for 2 more months without a salary, after which he will report to the head office of the Secretariat to work under supervision. He has also been directed to issue an official apology to the National Service Scheme within 7 days for bringing the name of the institution into disrepute. The order takes effect immediately. On Tuesday, that's what happened. November 29, 2022, Ghana Web reported that the Ashanti Regional Director for the National Service Secretariat, Mr. Alex Opoku-Mensah, had been captured on tape verbally attacking a staff nurse at the Manshia District Hospital. In the audio recording of the incident, Mr. Alex Opoku-Mensah was heard hurling insults and threats at the nurse for allegedly intimidating his daughter, who is a house officer at the hospital. According to multiple reports, the said nurse is said to have called Mr. Opoku-Mensah's daughter on phone to inform her about the need for her to return to the facility to update a patient's record on the hospital's patient management system. It was based on this the National Service Scheme commenced an investigation. And boom. Now, this man's daughter was said to have prescribed medicine for a patient. The nurse came in, looked at the prescription and said it was wrong, and called the doctor and said, the prescription that you gave to the patient is wrong. Can you come to the hospital and re-prescribe? The doctor felt that this was an insult. I am your superior. The kind of training I have, you don't have it. But, well, it's a double check. That's okay, but I'm in church. When I close from church, I will come. From church, she went and said this to her father. Hey, father, that nurse who has been disrespecting me all this while, today whilst I was in church, she called and told me that I had prescribed wrongly the medicine for a patient and that I should come back to the hospital and correct it. This man got angry. Doesn't she know that your father is the National Service Secretariat boss? Let's go. And they went all the way to the seat of the O2 Manshia Palace there and went to the hospital, and he held unprintable insults, including saying that the lady was not at all qualified to be there. But interestingly, doctors came to check, independent doctors. They came to check the prescription and they said there was nothing wrong with it. Hey, listen, 2 things I'm going to say, and I'm going to start with the nurse. The nurse must be disciplined too. That nurse must be disciplined. You can see a tug of war, power wrangling, between the doctor and this nurse. For all you know, the nurse has been there for so long. And this doctor just came, and she might even be younger. These are the people who want to say that they have experience. You are just coming from school. These days, they don't even teach them anything. We are even better than them. And there is that kind of struggle, power struggle. The nurse must be disciplined. If a nurse realizes that a doctor has prescribed something that is wrong, is it in her power to call the doctor and tell the doctor that this prescription is wrong? Or there is a certain procedure you must go through? Be professional. The nurse must be disciplined as well. Come along and bring the photo of the man. Let me talk to him. Bring him, quick. Listen, Mr. Alex Poku. You behave like a baby. You could have handled this issue better. You could have gone there to invite the nurse, sit with the nurse, and talk to the nurse like a father. I'm glad that in your apology letter, you said that you didn't behave like a father to the two of them. And that the young lady is young enough to be your daughter too. I hope that you did not just come to play to the gallery, and that deep inside you, you meant it. The arrogance with which you spoke smacks of unintelligence. In fact, the arrogance with which you spoke is a disgrace to the institution you work for. I'm not surprised they're asking you to apologize. But 2 more months, the incident happened in November. They asked him to step aside whilst investigations went on. What did they find in the investigation? Why are they not telling us? They should go ahead to tell us. We found him wrong here and there. But you just go ahead and say, after the investigations, we have decided to suspend him for 2 more months, and when he returns, he would work under supervision. Is that enough punishment? Is that enough? Somebody would go into a medical facility, assault a nurse verbally, make a hell of a noise in that institution where noise is not tolerated. And to make it worse, that is the seat of the Otumfuo. He has desecrated it. And then you ask him to go home for 2 months. What is that? What is that? Ask him to go home for at least 12 months. 1 year. That's when he will feel it. Next time, if another he-goat decides to go out bleating carelessly like that, they know that the hammer of the law will descend on their bald heads. I'm so disappointed. Yes, he apologized. But from where I sit, he's only playing to the gallery. If this man gets the opportunity, he will meet that nurse again around the bush and say, so with all that noise, what happened? What happened? I'm still at my post. What happened? This guy should have been transferred. He should be transferred to my village in Salaga or Dolimbuzon. When he reaches there, he will learn 2 things. How deprived the people in those areas are, and how privileged he is to sit at a place where there's electricity and there's everything. Next time when people are complaining, he would share in their grief. To God be the glory. This is the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. And on this note of arrogance, when we return, I got more. Hey! Wayo!
Skipper George.
Blackpot. Coco show them.
This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodomo, where we speak truth to power. Here we don't do politics. What we do is called patriotism. The only way forward for Africans, the mindset. Without a correct mindset, Africa is doomed. Look at corruption. Corruption hemorrhages over 80% of all that is in the coffers of Ghana and Africa. If we can deal with corruption, we must deal with the mindset. You see somebody's money lying down. You know when you pick this money, nobody will see you. But a mindset that is good will tell you that the person who dropped this money worked so hard to put it there. A taxi driver, somebody has left his phone in your car, a bag of cash. You turn around and look and say, this prophet whose church I started going to is a powerful prophet. He told me I'm going to get money that I've not worked for. Hey, God be praised. He told me that I will be rich and I'll never work. There it is. You go to church and they give you stupid prophecies. You will build a house that you never worked for. Why? Why do you want to build a house that you've never worked for? When the Bible itself says the hand that does not work must not eat. Are you crazy? My brother, my sister, the mindset. We look at parables and we take them so physical. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. Come! Next thing. What does it say? Watch it. Bribery in Ghana Parliament in focus. You remember some time ago, they said a certain rich man went to the Parliament House and he tried to bribe parliamentarians. In fact, to try and keep the lousy, inefficacious finance minister in power. And it was revealed by the man whose photo you just saw. He is the majority speaker in Parliament. And that's the story. Wealthy businessman tried to mediate on Oforiata's behalf. Chairman Sabonsu reveals. And this was in November. Amid the calls for his resignation, finance minister's predicament has courted him sympathizers in certain quarters of the business community. Majority leader, Osei Chairman Sabonsu, has revealed that when some of the majority MPs called for Mr. Oforiata's dismissal, one of Ghana's wealthy businessmen approached them to plead on behalf of the minister. In an interview with Joy News, the majority leader explained that in the heat of the arguments in Parliament, the said businessman met some of the legislators and tried to do something. Do what? Do what? When the police meet you on the street, and it's a slang in Ghana for give me a bribe. Do something. Do something means give me a bribe. A businessman, one of Ghana's wealthy businessmen, according to the majority leader in Parliament, came to the Parliament House and met some people, some legislators, and asked to give them a bribe so that they can mislead the whole of Ghana into the gallows. Dash it away. But it looks like there is an investigation going on right now. Remember, we came out and said that this must be investigated. Remember that I said that Kisei Jabin in the office of the special prosecutor must investigate this. They listen to me, they watch me every time. To God be the glory. Thank you for making us number one. The young man who was allegedly turned down a 20,000 Ghana cedi salary because it does not befit his suit status, has decided to run with the story. Watch it. Special prosecutor pursues unnamed wealthy businessman who tried to bribe MPs. Some names have been mentioned. Which one of them is it? The special prosecutor, come! The special prosecutor, Kisei Jabin, says his outfit has initiated steps to investigate circumstances leading to an unnamed businessman described as wealthy attempting to bribe some new Patriotic Party members of Parliament to soften their demand for the dismissal of Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. This is contained in a half-year report issued by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP. The office has triggered a liaison with the Office of the Speaker of Parliament in this regard. The report revealed, according to the OSP, the release of the report is in pursuance of Section 3, Article 3, blah, 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 of the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017. That's Act, blah, 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 blah. Now, the 13-page report offers an insight into the corruption cases investigated and prosecuted by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, and the highlights of activities undertaken by the office between 1st August 2022 and 31st December 2022. Dash. So who is this wealthy guy? I am glad that the OSP, that's the Office of the Special Prosecutor, is on the heels of this guy. Now, I would like to address Kissie Jabeng. Come and bring his photo. Kissie Jabeng, not the majority leader. Maybe you want me to address him. Leave him there. Leave him. Majority leader, it's good that you brought this matter up. I'm glad that there's an opportunity for you to reveal the identity of this person. Please do Ghana some good. Release the name. Say what you know. Encourage a strong legacy for yourself and for the people that you lead in Parliament, the majority side. One day your name would go into the good books. Let's all save our country. Dash him and bring Kissie Jabeng. You are a young man. You refused a salary of 20,000 Ghana cedis because it didn't suit your suited status. I respect you. Right now, the government in power does not even respect you. The government in power thinks that you are doing the work, but the government really wanted you to pretend to be doing the work. But you have decided to rise above reproach. Is it true that you employed people from your private law firm and gave them salaries on paper without due consultation? Was the procurement procedure wrong? Do you have the power to do that? We ask those questions. Maybe you brought them from your law firm because the government was strangulating your work. The government was not giving you a free hand to work. So you decided that you would not fail and brought them in. 20,000 Ghana cedis for you. You are saying that it is too small for your status. But, Mr. Jabeng, with all love and respect, this government wants you to pretend to be working against corruption. But you took it serious. In Ghana, we say, took it like a World Cup. Please do the work. Posterity is going to judge you. You have already fallen out with this government. They have regretted putting you there. Do the work. Let posterity be your badge of honor. Let your legacy be a strong badge of honor on your forehead like the mark of Cain. I respect you and I know you can do more. I pray that you do more. Dash! When we return, we shall do more. Hey! Wayo!
Go on, Skipper George.
Blackpot, Coco Shoulder, man.
This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushudemo. Yes, this is surprising. Sudan has more pyramids than Egypt, but Egypt is more popular with its pyramids than Sudan. And the reason is simple. The Egyptian pyramids come with historical underpinnings that are strong, like the pharaohs, the Chopes. There was not even a single pharaoh in Sudan. So the pyramids are there, but they don't carry the power. It's the same thing with the cathedral in Ghana. No historical backing. It's just a lousy president, a spendthrift president who made a promise to his gods and decided that he will build a certain demonic cathedral so that Baal can come and be inside. And he wants to force all of us to pay money to do it. No historical backing. How many people will travel to come and see it? The only way people would come into that cathedral is when, my brother, my sister, I can't say this on TV. I can't say it. I won't say it. It will make me sound uncouth. I leave it here. Come! Next. We are not sleeping. Our eyes are opened. We are watching everybody. It's not time to sleep. It's time to rise and roar like the lion. Corpses for sale. Hey! You die and you hope that they will bury you beautifully and all that. And boom, you see these people? They are Americans. They owned a certain funeral house where people took their dead bodies. In America, when you die, they can donate your organs. They can cut off your thing and give it out to somebody who needs it. Remove your lung, your heart, whatever. They know what to do with it. They donate that. But these guys were selling human parts. I'm sure to cannibals and also to Africans to use for juju. Africans, Haitians, and to use for juju. Watch. Ex-funeral home owner jailed 20 years for selling body parts. And this from the BBC. An ex-funeral home owner and her mother have been sentenced in Colorado after selling body parts without any consent. Megan Hess, 46, and Shirley Koch, 69, dissected some 560 corpses between 2010 and 2018, selling parts to medical training companies, which did not know they had been fraudulently acquired. Entire bodies were sold in some cases. Prosecutors said it is legal in the US to donate organs, but not to sell them. Hess was sentenced to 20 years in jail and Koch to 15 years. Hess, who ran the Sunset Mesa Funeral Home in the town of Montrose, charged families up to $1,000 for cremations that never took place and offered them free of charge in exchange for body part donations. In some cases, prosecutors said, without consent and using forged donor forms, she then sold body parts including arms, legs, and heads through donor services, her side business on the same premises. Several relatives who had used hers for cremations later learned they had received back ashes mixed with the remains of other people. These two women preyed on vulnerable victims who turned to them in a time of grief and sadness. Leonard Korolo, the FBI special agent in charge in Denver, said in a statement, But instead of offering guidance, these greedy women betrayed the trust of hundreds of victims and mutilated their loved ones. The case was triggered by a Reuters investigation which led to an FBI raid of the home in 2018. Dash it away. So when the families prayed that they should rest in peace, they actually rested in pieces. Better still, when the families prayed, rest in peace, they were scattered in pieces. Such a wicked thing. You cut body parts and sell. People pay you for cremation, $1,000 and even more. And what do? You lie to them that you've cremated the bodies. You give them some ash. They go and keep there and tell their grandchildren that the ashes of your grandfather, ashes of your grandmother. But it's wood ashes. And then you sell a whole body out. I believe this is happening in some parts of Africa. Funeral homes. This is sad. Dash it away. Let's deal with the last thing and we are done. The last story I would like to look at today. That's the last story, right? Ghana coach looks back at crucial football decisions. This is the Ghana coach, former Ghana coach, James Kwesi Appiah. In fact, I saw him play. I think at a point he even played for RTU, Real Tamale United. Yes! Am I right? Everybody's careful. Nobody wants to see him. No. Yes! He played for Real Tamale United. Somebody says it's true. Another person says, well. Very great guy. I love him. In fact, at a point, he was even the captain of the Black Stars. Abedi Pele came in. He had to relinquish the captainship. And then he brought about a little bit of, but they handled it nice. When he retired from football, little did they know that he would be a coach. He became a coach. And when he became a football coach, for even the Black Stars, Abedi Pele's own children were now in his hands. And he could decide their future with the Black Stars. Many thought that he would think about how the captainship band was taken from him and given to Abedi Pele, and he would maltreat Abedi Pele's children at the time. In fact, at the time, Abedi Pele had 3 children vying for positions in the Black Stars. 2 of them succeeded to play for long. Yeah, the other one to play that, one time for the other. Kwesi Appiah, in fact, fielded the 2 Abedi Pele children as if they were his own children. He only looked at how they played. And he was not swayed by any sentiments. But he himself, before he played for Asante Kotoko, he went for Juju. He went for Juju. Kwesi Appiah narrates how his Juju attempt led to a serious injury that made him miss AFCON. Watch it. The former Asante Kotoko fullback continued that he got injured on the leg he placed the Juju on before the match. This is not the beginning of the story. But when you look at it, the story has been cut short. He was going to play for Asante Kotoko. Then he was in Obuasi. And then he decided to go for Juju so that he would up his game. Black magic. And the Malam decided that he should put the Juju in his socks. And when he put it there, that was the day he injured that leg. Even though he made it to the AFCON, he sat on the bench throughout. He couldn't play because he had an injured leg. From that time, he decided that he would never deal with Juju again. How many more players believe that Juju works? How many players will never go for training, but they expect the Juju to work for them? But why I chose this story is interesting. Look at the headlines. Watch this. Kwesi Appiah is making strange headlines. Come! Watch this. My job was on the line for inviting Mohammed Kudus to the Black Stars. Kwesi Appiah. Hey, who is Mohammed Kudus? We all know what Mohammed Kudus did for the Black Stars. Mohammed Kudus became one of the brightest spots in the Black Stars team at the just ended Qatar 2022 World Cup. In fact, he became a national hero. He scored 2 goals in 1 match. Kudus became a household name in Ghana. But Kwesi Appiah was the first man to invite him to join the Black Stars. Let's read the story. Former head coach of the Black Stars, James Kwesi Appiah, has revealed he received threats from some officials of the Ghana Football Association, GFA, after his decision to invite Mohammed Kudus to the national team. Kudus made his debut for Ghana during an African Cup of Nations qualifier against South Africa in November 2019, with the youngster going on to score on his first appearance. However, Appiah, who gave the then 19-year-old his maiden appearance, says he could have lost his job, and his job had Ghana failed to beat Bafana in that game. Not only Mohammed Kudus, but some other young players. There were people who felt the young players didn't deserve the Black Stars call-up. He said in an interview with Dan Kwekuyaboa, dash it away. A visionary coach is the one who sees that this chick is going to grow into a cock by just looking at the chick. A visionary coach is the one who wants to try new things after sitting down to analyze a certain trend. Kwesi Appiah had it. In fact, we criticized him and kicked him out. Today, one of the players that he called is the brightest spot in the Black Stars team. I dare say that this young man even became more famous than some of the players that the whole Ghana put their eyes on. Kudus, in fact, played himself out. No wonder when he came to his birthplace of Nima, they had a big mural of him. That's a painting on the wall. And he became an ambassador, an unofficial ambassador for his own Nima. Yet, when one man saw that this chick will become a cock and invited him over to dinner, he was criticized. But Kwesi Appiah, bring his photograph. I'm going to talk to him. And come. Uncle Appiah, I respect you so much. May I say one thing? Now, you said that some GFA, Ghana Football Association, officials threatened you when you invited Kudus. Please mention their names. That's the only way our football will get better. They have no right whatsoever to threaten you. A threat, my brother, my sister, is criminal. It's an offense. What did they say? You'll be sacked. We are going to sack you. It's a threat. It could even make you lose focus. We all know how it is. Imagine I go to a radio station. I'm a broadcaster. I go to a radio station and I'm looking for a job. They put me on the job. Then some big men come around. Ah, is this the guy who's going on air? Hey, if this guy goes and messes up, we are going to sack all of you. This guy, I don't think he's good. He's not a good guy. He's a useless guy. How do you put him in there? Even me with all the confidence, I'll go like, oh. How many great people have had their spirits dampened all because some loud-mouthed guy talked them down? Kwesi Appiah, if you truly love this country, it's time to mention the names of those who threaten you. It's not in retribution. It's for Ghana football to get better. You know that if I were you, I would write it and say that this, that threatened me, blah, 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 blah. Any coach of the Black Stars who would succeed should be a man of his own. Remember that none of these people is paying you from their pockets. It's Ghanaians who are paying you. So when you go in there, open your eyes and look at Ghana. Don't look at GFA officials. Mr. Pierre, please mention the names of those who threatened you. The same way we are asking the leader in parliament, Osei Chairman Sabunsu, to name that wealthy businessman who came to bribe them. We love you. Maybe there will be another opportunity for you to be coach. I am sure that you've seen some of the problems we've had. I don't believe in foreign coaches. I believe in my own African coaches. I believe that we have enough talents. We speak the language of the boys and we relate with the boys better. But because of colonial Jim Crow minds, if a white man is not standing there, the team will not work. Willie Lynch mentality. To God be the glory. Dash. I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. It's been the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo. My name Blakk Rasta. Please pick up our numbers rolling on the screen. Do business with us. The more you do business with us, the more your business would prosper. Via satellite, we are seen all over the world. We've conquered the whole of Africa. Everybody watches this show because this is the biggest on TV. Trust me. In the world of Pan-Africanism, we are numero uno. Bakupe, Guda, Kede. Trust me. Pick it up. Let's do business and let's make sure that it works. At a set time, when we meet again, to God be the glory, Ghana shall prosper. Hey! Wayo!